Here we go.
This segment's brought to you by Woodsman Custom Calls.
Man, I've known Sean a long time. Great dude. He makes a great call. I haven't helped him design the camo cutter, which we saw what that thing did in Missouri this year.
Man, yeah, we had a heck of a trip up in Missouri. Ended up taking 3 birds on that trip.
Yes, sir. That's one of the 11 calls he makes out of his Outlaw series mouth calls, but he also makes slate calls and glass calls if you need those.
We've had Sean in here on the podcast. Really good guy.
Great call, designed by killers, for killers.
What is up, everybody?
Welcome back to the Hunt Experience Podcast, episode 45.
45.
We're knocking them out.
Yeah, we are. Staying after it.
Rolling.
It's harder this time of year, too, because there's 50,000 things to be doing.
Yeah, it's, last week I never heard from you. We were out of town on a little spring break deal, hauling a bunch of my daughter's girlfriends around. What I had to rent a Suburban to haul them all.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
She had a bunch of her friends wanting to go this and go do that, and the wife was wanting to do it, so I was the chauffeur.
Well, if the wife wants it, brother.
Pretty much,
make
yeah.
it happen.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's how that works.
That's the way it goes. I get to do what I want to do if I do what she tells me to do. So.
Oh, I know all about that. My baby shower thing's happening for my boy.
My heart rate's still up from hauling all that gear out.
I'm telling you, man. So anyway, it's like, you need to load that car. Like,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
Yeah. So we did the spring break thing, and I knew it was going to be a hassle to try to get together this week on trying to get one done. And, but here we are.
Here we are. We made it.
We're doing it. So what's been happening other than that? Anything?
No, man, I got frost seeded clover coming up.
I
See that
seen
picture?
Yeah, looks good.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting. You know, I told you that lower end, I was really worried about it because the top side's like rocking. Well, what dawned on me is, you know, that fall mix I put on the top side that had the rape and all that other stuff in it, had a clover in it.
Ah.
So it's like
bang.
the whole top side is just like coming in. And I went down to the lower side yesterday and I was looking around. Oh, look.
You got it going. Yeah.
Yeah. So the frost seed worked.
Yeah.
Looks like so far. So
yeah.
That's exciting. And then finished up your video on the 40 acre project.
Oh, yeah.
The update. Just got that done. So
yeah.
Got that out there, kind of showing what you did for a few minutes there.
Yeah, a little bit.
15 hours or so?
Yeah, I've done more than that, too. I got all that, all the tree grinding spread out, raked out, tilled in, and then I actually extended my switchgrass all the way around the big plot by about 10 feet.
Oh, you did?
So I tilled all that, just made my loops around there, got it sprayed, and let's see, when did I drill that in? Tuesday, maybe? Drilled in.
Right before the rain?
Yeah, right before the rain. Got my urea out right before the rain.
Dude, you couldn't ask for a better setup on a rain.
Yeah, well, I know.
We had a 1/2 inch rain that rained for 6 hours.
Yeah.
That's like perfect.
See, I was out of town, so you were keeping me posted on it. I was like, I'm looking at the radar like I think, because I really wanted to I was hustling and trying to get it all done before we went out of town. The only thing I didn't get done was my fruit trees. I got those raked out and fertilized yesterday. We got some rain last night, so.
Okay. Did Zach tell you? Zach call? I told him that he's like, dude, I'm going to wait till like April to plant, you know?
Yeah.
I think you're going to drill it for him is what he's expecting.
Yeah.
I hope you.
Yeah. No, I'm he's been texting me. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And I was like, dude, you know what you need? Throw some clover out there.
Yeah.
And so did he tell you that?
Yeah.
Good.
He texted me. He told me, I said, dude, first year I did mine, it was kind of a game changer because the deer don't know you got a food plot there until you put food on it. So let them know now.
And you'll be able to drill right into it. You know?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Cause any issues at all. But anyway, he said he didn't get it all. He didn't have enough seed.
Yeah,
and then that rain hit and it was like a 6 hour, 1/2 inch rain. I was like, dude, that's perfect.
Yeah.
No wash.
Yeah.
You know, just soak right in.
Yeah. Especially all tilled up or dissed up or whatever he did.
And he didn't fertilize, which he will when he does his spring planting.
He limed. He said he limed.
I think he'll be shocked to see how much of that stuff comes up.
Yeah.
And then he'll have green established and then you'll come in and do his summer plot, you know. Be good.
Well, I can tell you, I did that little test deal last year of our trifecta into
just the ground.
Mm-hmm. Never been fertilized, never been tilled down that high line wire when you turn into my driveway. And it's about 8 inches tall right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
I mean, so that just tells you. I mean,
yeah.
It's great to have the perfect. I mean, I think you probably we talked about this in an earlier podcast about we think deer are more attracted to, fertile, more ground, but you can get it to grow.
Yeah, it's like candy for people. You know, some candies aren't really good.
Yeah.
And there's other ones that Man, the deluxe chocolate stuff.
Oh yeah,
man, that's the next level.
Yeah, and I've always
Same
read
kind of
that.
deal.
Like the better the ground, the better the stuff.
I believe it.
Better the browse taste for the deer. So
that's the whole idea behind the buffalo system for us, anyway.
Yeah,
we've always been fertilizing and doing that. Now we want to do it natural way and see if it's better.
Yeah,
that's kind of the idea,
Yeah, no,
it's starting to look good though.
I know. Well, I told you when I scratched the soil with that rake, there's already a 1/8 inch difference in
nice
sand versus the stuff that's already decomposed, which happened a lot quicker than I thought, actually.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what the back plot does.
Yeah,
just because it's you remember how deep it was, man.
Oh yeah,
hugely deep.
Yeah, so. I know. Well, I did a shot of video yesterday. Me doing my fruit trees and my cage experiment, and my rye inside the cages, just where I had top seeded, was waist high, and the one on the food plots.
Yeah, so there's a little pressure there.
7 inches. Yeah,
a little bit of pressure there.
So I think I need to do a little bit of doe harvestation next year. Just to
Speaking of harvestation, didn't you kind of start some trapping stuff going on here?
We did. So we went. That was another part. I'm planning on planting corn next year, and we talked about like, man, we need to trap some coons.
Coons are an issue for sure.
I know nothing about it, so me and Jim got to talking. Well, whatever, Friday night, maybe. So he came out and taught me some lessons yesterday. So we have him as a guest today. Jim, welcome on the podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me, guys.
Welcome in, dude. Yeah, so teach us something. We had talked about it on the earlier pods. Like, we really need to get into trapping coons because it's an issue everywhere.
Yeah.
And so you guys kind of covered some of that, right?
I haven't checked the traps yet this morning. I told him Sunday's my lazy day. I wake up and drink coffee and hang out till about 8:30 before I get going. But we were talking. I was telling him a story. Like let's see, I moved to Arkansas in 81, and
he's from California. Dude.
Yeah, forgive me for that. It wasn't my choice, but
don't say that out loud.
Yeah. I remember we would be riding around, going to my grandparents' house or aunt and uncles or whatever, and they would literally be like 4x8 sheets of plywood painted on there, like coon hunt tonight.
Oh yeah,
like,
it was huge back in the day.
All these guys had dogs. I mean, they trained their dogs up, and then my grandfather would tell stories how they rode mules because mules would hop a fence, and they would run the dogs, and they'd all ride mules, and yeah, you were saying something about the worth of them back then.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I knew several guys. They paid for all their dog food for the year just on coon hides.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, you get a 25-pound coon, that was $25-$30, which is a lot of money
worth
in 1988.
Worth it. Yeah. Wish for that to come back, right?
Well, that's what I was saying. Is like, you wish Game and Fish should put some sort of bounty or something on just to help the struggling turkey population.
Yeah, nest predators, for sure.
Look at some of the numbers on that, and it's like, I know nothing about trapping, but I know that's definitely hurting. The nest predation is, crazy. I think some of the numbers I was reading last night trying to prep for this was 14% maybe of nest survive.
Yeah. Wow.
And then what were you saying on the way over here, Jim, about the 50 days or something? Tell us that.
Yeah, a hen will lay 1 egg a day for, depending on age, up to 10 plus eggs.
I didn't know that.
So
really,
that's 10 days that they're just laying eggs and sitting on them. Then she's got to sit on them for 28 days before they'll hatch, and then there's 14 days before them poults can fly.
Wow!
So you're looking at right at 50 days where they're on the ground, and if it rains, you've been around chickens or turkeys, they get wet, they stink.
Yeah.
So if a coon, possum, skunk comes downwind, smells that wet hen, they're going to go in there and eat every one of them eggs.
Yeah. It's almost nature put them behind the 8 ball there a little bit.
Well, yeah, no joke, right? It's like, that's what I was saying. It's like you have, with the poults, you got every predator that'll eat them. And then with the eggs, you got, possums, skunks, coons, snakes.
Crows.
Yeah, I didn't think about crows.
It's like, no
we got
wonder.
Them plentiful.
So you kind of wonder. So I looked at some of the populations. I think Arkansas ranks number 6 in the nation in coyote population. Couldn't really find a whole lot of details on coons as far as the nest predation part on what the coon does, but I think we are 106,000 coon population supposedly in the state. I mean, I don't know how accurate that is, but I think Texas was number 1 with like 800,000 or something, and they've got turkeys in Texas. So I'm kind of surprised.
Yeah, in Texas, they're on the High Line wires. They roost.
Yeah.
I had a buddy that he's got land down there in Texas. He leases.
Yeah.
And, those big electric towers. With,
the
platform ones.
Yeah.
Turkeys are roosting.
Well, you kind of wonder about that because I've always heard the turkey Texas population in Texas. Turkey population in Texas is pretty good, but they got a lot of hogs, and apparently they have the most coyotes ever.
Yeah.
So
you got to wonder, huh?
Kind of wonder what's
they're getting away somehow.
Yeah. But
you can hunt them with a rifle down there.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, you
might go to Texas. Let's go
break
to Texas
out the 270.
Kind of cool. Never done that before.
Speaking of the coon stuff, man, I don't know if you know my cousin Jody Daggett, but dude, he was a coonaholic back in the day, and he had a dog. He used to talk about his dog.
Yeah.
He said he could be driving down the road and his dog would be in the back, and his dog would hit off the scent of a coon driving down the road, and he would stop, back up, and go treat that coon. That's how good the dog was.
Yeah. No.
And he was like, I don't know what them things were worth back then. They were worth a lot.
Oh yeah. Some of those
people
coon dogs.
Big bucks.
Yeah. Coon dogs. I used to, one of my buddies' dads trained coon dogs for people. I remember going there and spending the night, and there'd be 4 or 5 dudes there coming checking on their dogs. He had 4 or 5 dogs at a time. He was training and dragging hides, and I didn't pay a whole lot of attention then, obviously. But talking about those dogs, back to the California deal. Apologize for being there, but one of my dad's buddies, he had bear dogs.
Oh yeah,
and he had a dog. I remember distinctly riding in the back of the truck, and the dog would ride on the hood. And when that dog hit, then he turned out the other dog. So
that's crazy.
Really, it really is.
That's fun.
Yeah, I don't know how that works exactly. If you drive with the wind in your face or what?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. These super sniffers on them things, man.
Yeah.
If I'm on the coon thing, if they would make it fun again and worth it and pay some guys a little bit of money, I think people get right back into it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't mind doing it. I think it'd be fun.
Yeah. Well, there's guys.
I'm not nocturnal though. That's the only problem.
There's guys out there. You probably seen some of this stuff. I've never tried it. You may have done it. They're actually using like, your e-collars.
Yeah, Fox Pros.
And calling
I've done it.
Really?
It's fun.
Really?
See, now it looks fun to me, but at this point, the population's so out of control. It's like, I think trapping's probably the way to go, right?
The most efficient, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, did you see, just sidebar, by the way, on our coyote hunt, me and Jody's debacle?
No.
I got to throw this in there real quick. So I went to pull a camera, dad spot on that food plot we planted in the back there. It's been there the whole time. Well, I was getting just picture after picture of coyotes.
Oh, yeah.
So I said, hey, Jode, we're going to go check our property for sheds. And we went shed hunting, found one. And then let's go coyote hunt back there. Oh, yeah. So we took a call and everything, went back there. We called up in Dad's Trump Tower stand.
Okay, yeah.
And we raised the window and he set that call out. And I was like, dude, they're coming. It's just a matter of time. Yeah. He switched to the...
Let's say back there was thick.
The pup distress. Once he switched to the pup distress, dude.
Yeah.
Here comes 2 coyotes. So he's got an AR. And he's the shooter. I'm the video guy. Okay. And then I got a backup 7mm.
Yeah. That'll work.
Just in case.
Yeah.
Them coyotes come straight to the call, like 30 yards. And he goes, click. Like, what the heck? And he jacks his shell, click.
Really?
And I was like, what's going on, man? And they run up there and they stop and I'm videoing and they run out. They go out. Gosh dang, that sucks. Like, he's like, dude, I don't know. I just cleaned this gun, Well, those ARs have that little bump thing.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't bump it.
Oh.
And we didn't know. I didn't know. He didn't know. His, he just got the AR or whatever.
Yeah.
So we just leave the call running. Here they come again.
Yeah.
Come back out again. Click, click.
Oh my gosh.
So I grabbed the 7.
Yeah.
Okay. And 7mm, Dad's.
Yeah.
And he had left it in the stand.
Nice.
Yeah. And so I was just like, okay, I got it. I got this, And I leaned out there. It's like 100 yards away. And I went, click. Jacked it. Well, he had shot that 8-point during season.
Oh, yeah.
And he hadn't been back in there.
Yeah.
And so I jacked out that shell and I went to jack in the second shell and it wouldn't go down the barrel. So we're 2 monkeys, dude, in that stand. Like neither one of us.
Yeah, y'all need to take a slingshot or something.
Well, there was a crossbow. I was like, dude, we can shoot a crossbow if we have to. They come back 5 times.
Really?
And neither one of us could kill them.
Golly.
Big old man, just full fur, just
you
pretty.
Got video of it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
It's a short.
Yeah.
I put it on YouTube. Yeah. It's a short. Oh, you talking about a debacle, dude. It was.
Well, that happened to us over on your brother's place when I took my AR that one time, but it was really, really cold. And if you don't really just let those ARs seat, they just won't fire. And those came out on us. I was like doing the same thing, trying to get it to seat.
He'd taken it apart and cleaned it, know, and
probably too much oil, probably slid down.
I guess, but he pulled that thing out, put it back in, Yeah. And then he called the guy he bought the AR from. He's like, dude, what's going on? He said, "You see that little knob back there? Bump that thing real hard."
Yeah, you rarely have to do that. Honestly, if you you just got to let those things drop.
Really,
yeah.
really.
Yeah.
And so we were trying to be quiet. Maybe that's probably what the deal was.
Yeah. If you try to like throw a shell in one of those ARs slowly, it ain't going.
Jody's like, "Dude, don't put that video up. Don't put that video." I was like, "Dude, I got
you
got
to. That's the best. That's the best kind of video right there.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, is what it was.
So you're saying we got more coons we need to, or more coyotes we need to get rid of?
Well, I mean, it's like I was talking about. It's like coyotes are always an issue.
Yeah,
and if you got one egg a day, and then you got a nest for all that time, it's like, dude, that's pretty tough to get by. For us, I mean, just here.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why. I know our coyote population went up.
Oh yeah.
Over time, and then coons are everywhere.
Yeah.
So between them two, golly, no wonder I ain't got no turkeys.
Well,
because we used to be loaded here, dude. I used to have tons of turkeys. But that's 20 years ago. So, I could literally go out my house and just listen, and we'd go after birds. And those days are gone. They've been gone.
This has been that way. Yeah, probably about that 12.
Yeah,
17,
your
20,
place was the same way.
17, 20 years ago.
You go out your back and listen.
On the back porch and hear 9 birds go off. And, we were talking about that. Nobody's really, other than, I don't know anybody that traps other than Jim. That's why I was kind of texting him like, hey, man, what do I need to do here? And he's led me in the right direction. And as far as getting that done, because I knew, 2 years ago I had that pig problem. And I killed like 18 hogs. Well, I had that thermal scope and I could shine. And it was like, just about every tree had a coon in it, where I had shot the pigs and they went off the food plot in the corn pile and went up in the trees. So if they were low enough where it wasn't a danger, I was popping them with that. But I mean, golly, at the coons we got out here. So I'll ask you, we kind of covered some of this stuff yesterday, but we set those traps out and there's really no, a particular area you need to set these things, right?
Not really on your place where if you've got a pond, a big creek running through there, coons are going to be all over that.
They like water?
Like water.
Okay.
That's what my place, we were trapping on 86 acres. We was probably running 22, 24 traps with the dog proofs, the footholds, and combination. But mostly cow pastures, very few wooded, any kind of fence row with a ditch running down it. That's just going to funnel them. Basically,
some kind of structure.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's interesting because I'm wanting to do the same thing here. But I will say this: the Shipmans, my buddies, they live about 2 miles this way, and they've been trapping now for 2 years. And dude, they've big numbers, and it's way less here now. Now everywhere else I go, they're gobs, but. I just, do they travel big areas like that typically?
I would say so because when we probably ran traps for 3 months on 86 acres, and the first week was just on fire with coons.
Right.
And it'll slow down, but then you'll go out there one day, maybe 3 days and nothing, and you haven't moved anything, reset anything, come out there, and then there was 3 or 4 coons.
So it's like a resurgence of. That's what I was wondering. I didn't know if they were big.
Well, that's what I was asking him yesterday. It's like, now how far? Because, his friend has property that adjoins mine. I was like, well, should we get permission to trap over there? Can we pull them? Because I'm wanting to, obviously get rid of a lot of them. So I have a decent chance at, the corn coming up and not getting tore up. But
have a coon on every
so
stalk.
I was doing some reading last night and they're saying, I was asking the question to go back to that, will these coons slot in like bucks do? Like, hey, if you kill one or if it, once you kill them.
Yeah.
So I was reading last night and they say a coon, its home territory is anywhere from 3 to 10 square miles.
Wow.
Right?
That's crazy.
Those little bitty legs. Yeah.
That's crazy. Well, I told you the painting story, right? Mm-hmm. So I had a buddy that was trapping coons.
Yeah.
And he was taking them way off. He's taking them like 5 miles away and dropping them. And he was like, dude, I swear that's the same coon. So he started painting them down the back.
Yeah.
Them dudes were coming back.
Really?
Yeah. He was taking them a long ways off and they were coming back.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy cow. That's crazy if you think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I guess he
was striping coons with different colors and they'd be back at his place.
Really?
I know 100% of mine did not come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There's a better plan, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I even did that for a while. I have a live trap and I was trapping them and I would take them to the mountain. And now they're on your place.
Yeah, I guarantee you. Yeah, yeah.
So thanks, Cody.
Yeah, I won't do that anymore.
Well, I think it's going to be. I learned a lot from Jim yesterday talking about it. I've never trapped anything in my life, but I knew I had a problem. for one, it obviously helps the turkey situation, but my main reason to do it is like we talked about, I really want to try to drill in that corn.
Yeah.
And I know if it actually doesn't drought out and succeeds, the coons are just going to, ride it down the ground and tear it up. So
absolutely.
We set, what was that, 6 yesterday?
6.
And so explain the dog-proof trap to them.
Well, basically the dog-proof trap, it's the easiest method of trapping. I mean, the cables I build, you just throw them around a tree, put the trap through the loop, cinch it down, set the trap, stab it in the ground, throw a few marshmallows out there and put some under the trigger. They're going to smell that sweet, and they'll come in, eat what's out there free, and then they're curious anyway.
Yeah.
But they'll get their hand in there, and you got them.
It's a handhold.
Yeah, it just pinches up on their arm, no damage. But you've got them.
Got them. And the dogs don't mess with them because they're too small, right? That's kind of how that works.
You'll catch the occasional possum. I think I caught one skunk, which is fine. They're all nest predators.
Sure.
But it's just the easiest way to trap. Like I said, I told Chris, I said, if you want to leave them here for a week, and if it goes dry, maybe put them on the west side of your property.
Yeah. Move them around a little bit.
Yeah. And you can go pick up 6 of them and move them in 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, we spent a lot more time than we should have just talking and everything else. But I mean, he was just, and when you get the trap, it just came with a little chain on it with a couple swivels, and you can stake him in the ground. He's actually building cables. What was that? 1/4-inch cable, probably?
Yeah, it's
8-inch cable, and he's got another swivel on there. So you just he crimps it over and you loop it through the trap, so you can just pull it off, loop it around a tree, and it's like
gotcha.
You're just moving through it.
Fence post, a log laying there.
Anything they can't run off with. Yeah. Okay.
So the way he's setting them up with the cables is way easier than trying to, because I had stakes at the house, He's like, I'll build you some cables. I had no idea what he was talking about till I actually seen him bring them over and use them. And it's like, we could probably have done that whole deal in 10 minutes yesterday, honestly.
Really?
But we shot some video, and of course we were talking in between.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to tour Chris's property. I follow your podcast.
Oh, cool.
I've seen all the videos.
Yeah.
And we're at my friend's property is just north of his, and we've been doing trying to do some habitat improvement, some burns.
Okay, so that's the neighbor to the north.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's cool.
Yeah, they come over. What was it? A couple of weeks ago.
They stump grind or something, did they?
Yeah, been do some stump grind over there. So I didn't even realize Jim had never even seen the place. So I took him on a golf cart tour yesterday, and we kind of did that, and then started setting traps. And
he's with the travel corridors, and his setup is top notch.
Well, if you think about it, that was all just timber before he started. I mean, other than that kind of overgrown field, that's 2-acre food plot. It was a mess.
Yeah,
it was a major mess.
That's what I was telling
you.
Come
a long ways. It has come a long way.
I literally took a screenshot of Onyx of my place. Went to Walgreens, had it blown up to, 15 by 15 piece of plexiglass, put on top of it, and just started drawing. Like, how can I get into this place? And that's how it kind of came about. Honestly, talking to him, like, what do you think about this? What do you think about this?
Yeah, we got together like, dude, man, if you come in over here. Yeah. So it's legit setup. You've seen it. It's legit setup. And that's I guess you've seen all of his new improvements, the corridors and the.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. I think that's going to work, man. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
I'm interested. We're kind of geeky like that. It's like I'm almost excited more about his place than I am mine, just because I see mine all the time every day.
Yeah, but, I was the same. But he had mentioned the other day, so I'm on a new search now for honeysuckle.
Yeah. Oh, I put that. I'm sorry, I did that to you. But dude, how awesome would that be?
Yeah, just have a massive wall, which I think the treetops is going to work fine, but. If you had a little extra honeysuckle on there, it would feed along that another edge. And I'm hoping my switchgrass really, really does, because right now I'm looking at probably close to 18-foot ring around it in switchgrass. Of it, I know it's a waiting game for new stuff, but I haven't went up and re-drilled the old food plot. I had some seed left over. I drilled it all again too.
Did you really?
Yeah, like maybe it'll thicken it up even more and see.
Never know. I know it's popping, man. Dude, you told me yours was popping. I went out there and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
And so I fertilized mine.
Did you? Good.
Yeah.
I was hoping you'd get that down. Now you said you maybe think about waiting. It's like, you get that down now.
I did the old school.
Did you?
Yeah.
I bought 150 pounds for everything I had, so I just threw it in the hopper. And just drove along until I see all the ground was pretty white and I was about out. So
all the stuff when we started working together, all the stuff I brought in was the cheapest, most inexpensive way to do it. And Chris would be like, "Hey, dude, if we got one of these, we wouldn't even have to carry that. This is much better."
Yeah.
And he's like, I had said it to him too. I was like, "Dude, you know what are really cool?" He's like, "What?" I said, "Those drills." I've been looking at them.
Yeah, I was studying those things for like 6 months. So they're not really out there used, but
no.
What did I drive? I drove I think I drove 14 hours, 16 hours that day. Found the cheapest one in Missouri that they would, sell to me on a, tax deferred type deal. Or anyway, I drove up there. They put it on a forklift. I used the restroom and back on the road again.
Yep.
But it's been really cool. I was showing him the rye that I put in, and at the time it was 5 days, and I guess it's probably close to 10 now, and it's 2 inches tall. I mean,
it didn't take us long to realize. I've always just done regular fruit plots. Just hand seeded, but when you drill it in there at the right depth and then you cover the seed, there's no elements baking in the sun. You know what I mean? It's kind of a no brainer.
Yeah.
Now, of course, everybody can't afford a drill, but
and you don't have to. Jim's food plots. I mean, he sends me pictures of his all the time, and he's
rock and rolling.
Yeah,
I'm having to spend like 3 times the amount of money on seed.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
There's a lot of waste for
sure. Same with me. It's a switch off. It is a switch off though, because what you're going to do that you save in seed, you're going to put in time in the tractor.
Yeah,
it takes a while.
Yeah,
because like we try to stack the rows.
He's seen carpet.
Yeah, he's seen how close my rows were out there. It's 6-inch spacing on the drill.
That runs with that tractor.
Yeah.
So,
but it's not too bad. You throw some headphones in and take off and start stacking your wheels.
What else we got to do?
Yeah. The corn, I think, will be a lot easier. I'm still doing research on that too. A lot of guys are saying they're not blocking off.
Just make it thicker.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I need to get back into that and research it some more. But
so you'll have to figure out the right fertilizers and everything for that, right?
They say urea is good for that too. Nitrogen. So
and then Roundup Ready stuff, or
I think so. I don't know. I mean, I probably won't have a problem because I'm gonna be seeding into rye and crimping that over. I doubt if I have a weed issue.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so either.
So I don't necessarily have to have Roundup Ready. I don't think. I wouldn't imagine. I just hope it stays, wet enough for it to actually.
That's going to be the thing, right?
Dude, if you have 2 acres of corn out there with a green strip going down the middle, my gosh,
could be interesting.
Yeah, with your layer of thatch too, you're going to have a lot of drought resistance.
Yeah, no,
that was the goal for sure.
We proved that last year because I drilled. I was like, I'm tired of waiting. I'm putting mine in, and it popped up because of that layer we had on, which I did rye and buckwheat last year, so I had a pretty good thatch layer. And I mean, there wasn't any rain in the forecast. I was like, I'm just putting it in because I'm ready. Yeah. So we did it, and then it was successful.
It made it. Yeah, I mean, of course, it was horrible. 12 weeks of no rain there, but it was amazing. Even my back one back here, it's real low and it's a lot wetter, and it holds more moisture.
Yeah,
and it survived even the 11 weeks of no rain.
Yeah,
which was pretty impressive.
Yeah,
and I had a really heavy thatch layer because my rye did really well in the spring.
Oh, yeah.
It was remember how deep it was?
Oh, yeah.
And it just carpeted over. So, but I was like you, I went and looked the other day and it's pretty much gone.
Really?
It's already in the ground.
No, I didn't know how fast
I was pretty impressed by that.
Would turn into topsoil, but apparently pretty quick.
Yeah. It's really cool. So
we need to go. So Jim had the same problem that kind of you had here with how many acres they clear off around you on your place?
There was about 40 acres of cover. They come in there, put some roads in, put some campsite, and this that 45, 50 acres had been abandoned for 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the field I'm in, it's 66 acres. They went in there and it's just wide open like a football field now. The cedar, they took cedars out of it. All the cover's gone. So it's, I mean, my deer went from 7 or 8 resident does and little ones to 2.
Yeah, I hear you. I know all about it. Believe me. Yeah. My neighbor to the south, I had a massive thicket. It was probably 20 acres. Just nobody was ever in it. Cows didn't even go in it, and he went in there, slicked it off. And it's like, okay, there's my line to the mountain and getting cut off, because that's pretty much what it did.
Yeah.
So most of my stuff comes from this way. I used to get them from that way, and I did get a few now, stragglers, but nothing like I used to.
Yeah. You mentioned a while ago the buckwheat. Last summer I did buckwheat and sunflowers.
Yeah.
The deer just hammered them.
Yeah, you sent me a bill. Well, I was talking to you about that. I was under the impression that the deer didn't eat buckwheat.
They love it, bro.
They browse some of mine too.
Well, like where mine was in the middle, it was pretty thick, and on the edges, they nibble it down to nothing. So I'm like, somebody lied to me because I was told this was just going to be a cover crop, but yeah, they ate the crap out of it.
I got weird deer, I guess, because they won't touch a brassica, but they'll eat the crap out of it.
We got the same brassica problem, brother.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Brassica's a no bueno.
Yeah.
I'd love to know the answer to that.
We've tried everything too. Dude, I've been doing it for a long time, and it's like, I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna try this. I've never really had anything work. I mean, we were laughing about it. I planted, what did I plant out here? Radishes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we both did radishes. And it's like all year long. I mean, there's stuff ate all around it, and the radish is like by itself, you know. And it was February 20th, 21st, something like that. And I went out there, and there was a radish bit off of, and I was like, yes.
Yeah. Got one.
One radish down.
Yeah, they're beautiful. You know, I used to plant those before I knew what I was doing in my old food plot. I've had some beautiful, like, magazine brassica plots. I mean, thick and lush. And like,
I had some daikon radishes like this. My dad ate more than any of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Bring me 4 or 5 of them.
Yeah.
I would love to find
when you get done hunting, take me some radishes.
Yeah, I would love to find something. Just add tonnage that they would eat.
Yeah, I know.
We
haven't really
cereal
varied
grades
on that a whole lot. We kind of found that our trifecta, which is winter wheat, rye, and peas.
Yeah.
And that's kind of just what we've been doing. We haven't really tried. You just did a pea plot out here, didn't you? You did.
I did a pea plot, and then I did some oats. And oats are good until you get a frost.
Yeah.
And they turn on you, but
oats go away pretty quick.
Yeah. But they're good early.
Yeah.
But I'm still a huge winter wheat guy, man. I mean, that's been my go-to, and it's easy and it's cheap.
Yeah.
And the deer love it.
Well, we drove by the new corridor I cut yesterday, and I told you I'd throw some rye on that just to hopefully get them to start feeding out into that food plot. And we drove by, and there's a big limb down I got to pick up, but it's
is it popping?
1.5 2 inches tall on dirt. I mean, I didn't do anything of that, so it's like that just showed. Well, I drug it in. I hand seeded it and then just drug it in with my little drag and a golf cart. But it's going to be a lush trail.
Nice. That could work too. You know.
I know.
You made me think about clover in the fall, man.
I thought about that.
You know what I mean? That'll really hold up all year.
Yeah.
And
plus it'll be something a little bit different. Yeah.
Yeah, and they'll drop their head and bite. You know, and bite on the way to. The promised land.
I actually mentioned that in one of my videos. I can think about switching this over to clover.
Yeah,
and
sure.
Give them a little bit of different something. I think they'll just use that trail and graze too. Plus, when we supplemental feed, I'll be supplemental feeding on that north side. So
you can establish that in the fall this season, and then it'll carry through, dude.
Yeah,
you know, and you could get you could get something from the co-op, or you could get a blend that's pretty proven. Like whitetail imperial stuff for me has always worked, and you'll have it 3 to 5 years.
Yeah.
You know, and even in the shade, it's going.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking about. A good shade tolerant deal. It's like clover, that'd be perfect. Plus, it's something just not so long. I don't know what 80 yards probably. Yeah. By the time you wind around there.
Yeah, it was much longer than I expected it.
Really?
I thought it was just right there. Yeah. You know, and it was like, dude, this is way back in here.
Yeah. No, I wanted to make it pop out right there where I get all those pictures. You know, it's like this kind of makes sense.
Yeah,
so I had to take probably only like 4 decent trees. The rest of it I did with my little saw. It wasn't too difficult, but
so back to the coon thing. So what does a coon trap cost? I don't know anything. We haven't really looked into it.
If you can order them from Shields, you can get them for around $13 a piece.
Oh, okay.
It's just convenient. I've done it. Just go over to co-op, pick up a couple of them, $18.
Yeah, 17.
Oh, co-op carries them.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
Yeah,
that.
He told me that. I didn't know either. I walked in and talked to Jim. I was like, "Y'all, I was told by a friend of mine, y'all got dog-proof trap. Yeah, got them in the back, and they had 6, so I bought 6."
So I got to wait for them to get more in. Yeah.
I bet they probably fill them up pretty quick. He said, I just had another guy come in, I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and said he bought 8. Like I forgot, I think they were like getting in his attic and everything else. He was trying to trap these things out.
So start out, is there an amount to start out with, or does it matter?
6 is good. Like I said, the more the better.
Get a feel for it. See what's out there.
If you're going to do long term like him, he's there on his property. He's going to run them probably till deer season.
Oh yeah, I will.
Oh, I will too. You know, I mean, like I said, dude, I live trapped them for a long time.
Yeah.
I haven't done it in a lot of years, but I mean, for several years there, because they were everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, they were horrible. So yeah, I'm going to try that. And matter of fact, I got 3 other places I go that I may run some too. They're overrun.
Yeah. Chris had mentioned yesterday about the golf ball over the top.
Yeah, I just saw that on a YouTube video.
I was watching a video this morning. They showed the golf ball, and then they say if you're in a lot of rain, especially using cat food.
Oh,
they were red Solo Cup. The scent's still getting out.
Red Solo.
Well, they're used to rummaging through trash and everything else. They don't care if there's a red Solo cup there. Huh?
See, that's my issue here, dude. If it's like my wife has Super Sniffers 2000. She can smell anything 2 weeks ago. But anyway, so the trash got to go out all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, if I set the trash out, it's tore up by morning, no matter what.
Yeah, I never do that. It's like the wife, she'll set it in the garage, and that next morning I'll go take it to the trash can. But yeah, if I set it out, it's not good.
Well, she's piling it in my shop out there, and my whole shop stinks. It's like, okay, we can't do this. We got to do something.
Bueno. Yeah,
I'll start taking these coons out so I can at least let it sit there for a minute.
Yeah. So
another tip they had, I seen this morning, they were using the Viper ant spray.
Yeah,
because when you use the marshmallows, the sweet, of course, the ants, and I mean, we don't want to be cruel. We don't want to catch a coon and have him sitting there.
Oh yeah,
eat up with ants all night.
Oh, no doubt. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, that'd be good too. So I was going to ask you yesterday. I guess we didn't do it, but I was wondering. So there's really no need for any type of cover scents, or I was thinking about taking a bottle of scent killer and spraying all the human scent off.
The coons don't care.
They don't care.
I kind of, after we got done, I actually thought about that. I was like, I was going to ask him if I should bring some scent killer or something out there with me. And I never asked, but I was like, apparently it doesn't matter. But I guess we'll find out.
A coyote's a little different. Every coyote set I've ever made, I've never caught on the first night.
Yeah.
Usually it's 2 or 3 days before your scent's gone out of there enough that they're comfortable enough. I mean, you can look up YouTube videos and they'll set coyote trap, and that coyote will come in. He'll go downwind, but he won't check it as the first human scent around there.
Wow.
So tell us about that too, because I don't know nothing about coyote traps either. You talked about maybe setting some on my place either.
Yeah. I'll if I can get my traps back.
If you get your trap backs, yeah,
because I've loaned them to my nephew.
Yeah.
So I don't
know nothing about it, but I did read this morning that one of the guys, actually, I was listening to that podcast that was on when I turned on the truck. Another one of those Mississippi State deals, but
love those, by the way.
Yeah, they were saying properties with corridors, like mine, or corridors that are made by the electric company, are really, really well trapped areas, because you get a lot of traveling coyotes, not so much the ones that are in packs there, but they'll just roam around. They'll roam those areas. But explain to us the coyote trap, because I know nothing about it. I don't know if you bait it. I don't know what you do with it.
Well, my favorite set is the dirt hole set. Yeah. And it's a big eye-catching. Okay. I mean, you can dig out a big old trough, pile up the dirt behind there, and it's basically a step-down dirt hole. You're going to go take a little, maybe inch or two of dirt.
Okay.
And then you're going to drive your earth anchor into the ground right in the center of that, and set your trap. Get your trap bedded where it can't move. You can get rocks, stick under the levers. You want that trap solid. If they step on the corner of it over here and it's not going to set off and it tips, they'll dig that trap out. And then right behind that, I'll put a mound. I like to do it on a kind of an incline.
Okay.
And then I got a dirt hole punch. I used to use an auger bit and a drill, but this dirt hole punch, you just drive it down the ground 8-10 inches, pull it out, and deer meat. Oh, got some old deer meat.
Okay,
been there. How many years old is that? Throw some deer meat in that hole.
Okay.
And last year, when we was trapping, 2023, when we started, I went and Bass Pro, and I bought some coyote lure. I was like, it's a couple of bucks. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I was like, this ain't going to do nothing. Well, I opened it up. When I opened it up outside, my 2 Rottweilers would come running. They're like,
really?
What is on here?
Wow.
They freaked out. I'm like, okay, there's something to this lure. Huh. And it's actually the glands in the coyote. I mean, if you trap coyotes and you want to sell those glands, there's a guy Pine Hollow trapping in Van Buren. He'll pay you for it.
Wow. Really?
So there is some money in it.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're kind of skeptical of glands. Remember when I saved those buck glands and took them to Missouri?
I forgot that. Yeah, that was awesome.
Tarsals?
It was a bad deal.
Yeah, it was like day 5 or something on the tarsals.
Joe was with us. He's like, hey, man, let me get those buck glands. I'm going to haul them in there. And they were
ripe, rancid.
I was like, good luck with that.
Yeah.
Everybody was dry heaving, but
maybe one evening this week I'll come over, bring a couple of 550s. We'll put some on the ground.
That'd be cool. I don't know. I mean, I said I know nothing about it.
So that's a foot trap, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they just step in the middle of it and it closes on. Gotcha.
And that could be that includes fox and bobcat too that get in.
Yeah, you can catch the occasional house dog.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh yeah.
It don't hurt them.
Yeah.
I only had one. I caught 4 when we were trapping. Only one of them I had to use the catch pole because he wanted to eat me up.
Oh, I can imagine.
Yeah.
The big one I was scared of, he just kind of started petting him. I'm like, it's all right, boy. And he kind of snapped at me a little bit when I took the pressure off, and then he's like my best friend. He followed me around.
Really? So it
my life.
It don't even break their leg or nothing?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay. I would assume they would.
There's no sharp edges. It's a flat edge, and I've stuck my hand in them.
They just can't
Chances are
it just pinches.
Chances are I'll probably catch my yellow lab. He roams a lot, so this time of year.
Well, my neighbors have lots of dogs. They're free range.
Around my neighbors, they call me, "Hey, we got a dog missing. Do you have traps out?" I'm like, "No, I don't have any yet right now."
I can imagine.
No, I don't really have that dog of mine. He just roams around a little bit when I let him. But now, was it 2 years ago? Had all them, wild dogs.
I remember that.
Run to clear my food plots out like all times, like a German Shepherd and some kind of, I don't even know what it was, just on an inbreed, but you could tell they were hunting like coyotes. They were sniffing all the wood piles and everything else. Like, these are wild dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Probably need to be trapped. They looked like they had the mange and starving anyway, but.
Yeah. No, I my neighbor left that had 5. So.
Nice. Finally.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah.
One of them bit my wife,
Mm-hmm.
I had to threaten to kill it and all that. So, yeah. That's over with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So for a guy that hasn't killed a deer this year, don't have any old deer meat, you're thinking there's some lures you can use for that?
You can trap them with anything. I've used scraps.
Yeah.
An old meatloaf been in the fridge for anything. Honestly, you can buy baits and lures.
Yeah.
The guy there in Van Buren, he makes his own.
Oh, really?
And they're really
Somebody
good.
Local? Yeah, that'd be cool. I like supporting localish.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, 2023, when we were doing all this trapping, man, I got several people reached out to me, and some of them are still trapping to this day.
Yeah.
They love it.
I can see.
Tommy Norris caught like 98 coons last year.
Wow.
That's awesome. Heck yeah.
I'm kind of anxious to see, what, what my place produces. Cause I've looked around my place with a thermal. So I know there's quite a few coons there. Not as many as a couple years ago. We're running the corn piles. Sometimes I'll have 13 coons at a picture. This year I didn't really have that.
Mm-hmm.
So I am hoping I do catch some possums. I was telling him yesterday, I think I may have been texting you in the stand. I was like, dude, I got a possum out here on the corn pile during daylight that weighs 30 pounds right now. And I got 2 of them, one on the north end and one on the south end, that every night I'll get a picture of them. Like, if I don't know if they can get there. They're this big around, bigger than footballs. Like, they need to be put down.
I had to dispatch one here because the whole trash thing.
Oh,
Get the trash out. I can't stand the smell.
Yeah.
I stuck the trash on the back porch.
Yeah.
I had to. Big feller.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's no longer with us.
Yeah.
Different subject, but me and Sean Cook started these tournaments around here 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody's wanting us to do one. We don't know how to do it, but like a Friday at 6:00 till Sunday at noon.
Oh, nighttime.
Anything goes.
Yeah.
Just all predators.
Oh, cool.
And nobody knows the money thing. Because, I'm going to go out and try to kill some, maybe do a little spotlight at night with a depredation permit.
Yeah.
But you got guys that's got thermals, and you got a 4-man team. You're going to have 2 guys day hunting and 2 guys night hunting.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to, and I would love to see it.
Definitely put a hurting on them for people that's got the thermals and stay awake that long. I'd probably be out by 10 o'clock. Like,
that's my problem, dude. So I'm a big pansy when it comes to nighttime.
I'm
getting tired. I couldn't do it when I was young. I definitely can't do it now.
Yeah. But I would love to see that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah, heck yeah. I'm all about it, man.
Most of you guys that are in that are within 10, 15 miles of us.
Sure.
Yeah, that was a really cool deal. I don't know how much it helps. I guess it's really tough to judge, but I know some of those, I think we've only entered 2 of them, but I know I will follow it and see the picture. There's a lot of dogs killed in some of those tournaments.
I'd say the last 5 years, we've probably just in the tournaments killed over 200 coyotes.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I would believe that. Yeah.
And I think if you got, get the word out here about this trapping deal too, that's probably even help because, like I said, I didn't know anybody that did it besides you.
Yeah.
And I know a couple guys, David Russell and Mike Rush, they run dogs still. But I don't know if they do. I know Mike does a ball just for competition stuff, so I don't know how many he's dispatching or, what he's doing with them. But, David was going to come out to my place and run dogs, but, daily over there to the west. I was like, well, if your dogs get over there, it's probably just going to be a big deal.
Well, I think everybody wants to get back to like the 90s.
Yeah.
When the deer were plentiful, the turkey were plentiful. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, what was going on back then? Well, people were trapping all the time and tournaments, and stuff was going on. That was just part of what you did. Yeah. Maybe early 90s. I think it phased out in the 90s.
Yeah.
That would be cool if we could kind of get something like that going.
Well, I mean, it's going to be up to us. That's for sure. Because, I mean, nobody else is going to do anything about it. That's why I'm kind of on board with trapping them. I told you last year I run out to just riding the golf cart around. I told you I can't sit around the house. I'll just get out and ride around the property and see what's new. And I found a fawn that a coyote had gotten, and it's like, I know that it happens. I think they were, what was it I read? Which I can remember. My brain would work better. I think 43% of fawns are killed by predators. I think that's what the number was in Arkansas. 43%.
What got me to trap it? I went probably 6 years, and there was years I had 10 adult does. Yeah. Never had one fawn for like 5 or 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they'll definitely tear them up. So it's like you look at the coyote as a predator, even over a coon. Coyote's going to be killing the poults if they survive, 50 days on the ground. They're going to eat the eggs. They're going to kill the fawns. There's a lot of damage.
Oh yeah.
And there's one predator we can't do anything about. That's hawks.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're plentiful here too.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they definitely are.
Yeah, we got right down the road here's chicken houses.
Yeah.
And there's always eagles and hawks out the wazoo, man.
Within a mile of my house, there's 24 chicken houses.
Oh, gosh.
That's why I got coyotes.
Yeah. I was going to say, predator hunting will be good for you, though, right?
Pretty plentiful coyote area.
Yeah, right.
But those coyotes, man, it's like they're almost like pigs, right? It's like, I don't know, what's their pup ratio like?
They're fixing to start. They're probably digging dens right now.
Yeah.
And like I said, a female, April 15th, 17th, right in there, she's going to drop 6-8 pups.
6-8. Wow. Once a year?
Oh, yeah.
Once a year? Oh.
Yeah, their breeding season's mid-February, February 15th.
That's not terrible.
They're not pigs.
I heard something on a podcast, and it doesn't make sense to me at all, but a guy was talking about these packs, right? And they're kind of like breeding packs, the pairs and the pups and so on and so forth. And they'll have basically like a roll call where they'll howl. And if this sounds far fetched, but the guy said it on the podcast, so I'm just gonna throw it out there. And if they hear that one's missing, that'll actually make the female want to breed again. You ever heard anything like that?
Tori Cook and John Collins, they did a Fox Pro podcast. I think I posted on Sebastian County Outdoors, but it's the coyote myths, and that's one of them.
One of them? Okay. I was like, that doesn't sound right to me, because, I mean, if you look at the breeding months of a coyote, I'm like, I don't know, but he said it on a podcast. I was like, it just hit me, so I'm going to throw it out there and see what you thought about it.
I don't know if you know Tori Cook, but he's here in Arkansas.
I watched some of his stuff, yeah.
And he's raised probably the last 5 years, I don't know how many, dozens of coyotes.
Yeah.
And they're free range. He can walk out there and call them up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
All his sounds are recorded from those coyotes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, that's when I first saw him. Well, the first time I saw a video of him, he was like shotgunning them. I was like, that's really cool. I've never seen anybody do that. And then the other ones was him petting coyotes and hanging out with them and stuff. Like, what's going on here?
He'll kill them with recurves. He'll kill them with crossbows.
Yeah, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. If they ain't in his lap, he don't want to kill them.
He's taking it serious.
Yeah. The first video I ever saw was kind of I think we were fixing to get that tournament. I was like, well, I guess I need to kind of learn how to coyote hunt, because I don't know nothing about it other than put a call out there. But I can tell you I bought a Fox Pro probably back in 97. Remember that one we had to use that one time when my Lucky Duck went down? It's like, and man, I can never call a coyote up. And I bought that Lucky Duck. The very day I got it, I charged it and took it out to my place, killed 2.
That's awesome.
It's like, okay, so there's a difference in calls here of 1997 one versus a 2024 call.
I still have the speaker with the long cord.
Yeah.
That's what I still have.
You carry out your car battery.
Johnny Stewart tape player.
Yeah. It didn't sound great. Hey, I called a bunch of stuff with it. It's shockingly how well it worked.
Yeah.
And it worked really good with Fox. I called Fox. Yeah.
Wow.
And of course, they're this big. I always thought Fox were a lot bigger. They were like, oh, that's a Fox.
Yeah. I've got a couple on my place I get pictures of. You said Josh had some pictures of those ones on too.
I guess it was last fall. We finally got our first Fox ever brought into one of our tournaments.
Really?
Really? Wow.
Yeah. A few people had called him in, seen him. Nobody had ever got him killed. And the last tournament Sean did, I think the January tournament, it was my February tournament. The one team had 2 foxes, a bobcat, and 3 coyotes.
Wow.
Oh, man, that's a great day.
Yeah. No kidding.
Yeah, I know. I had 2 on my place for a long time, and I've seen them in the morning. And when I hunt mornings, I'll see them sometimes, but never care to really kill them. They're kind of you see them jumping over each other and all that stuff, hanging out. Like, nah, I'm not gonna.
And they're just a lot smaller than I envisioned them to be.
308 them yet.
Yeah, we called on his place. I think it was in that tournament.
Yeah.
And you remember that we're set up on that little bitty opening.
Yeah.
And the bobcat. All I seen was bobcat face, and I'm like, right there. And then, he's going.
I've been kind of saving those bobcats because I've got a really big bobcat with no spots. And I've got a small one that's really spotted up. Well, I want a big one with spots so I can mount it. And I wish they would but I've been watching for 2 years.
Yeah.
And that one, he come out probably one of the last days I hunted, and I never seen him cross the food plot at all. He just came out of the plot screen, just walked across there. And I'm like, oh, that's the one with no spots. But he was a big one. I should have probably smoked him, but I really want to mount one.
My shipman buddy, he's like, dude, they're turkey assassins.
Cooper.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Cooper.
Yeah. Kevin, his dad.
Okay.
Yeah. Me and Kevin real close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coop's madman. But no, he's like, you get to kill them bobcats, boy.
Yeah.
They're tearing up the turkeys like no other.
Yeah.
Huh? Okay. No.
Well, I think you look at I don't know, there's a lot of problems, obviously, even hogs, but we were talking about that yesterday. I was asking him, he said he's got a buddy that's still killing a bunch of hogs, but I don't have any, not on either side of the mountain. So
they're not crossing here yet again.
Yeah.
I haven't had them almost 2 years.
But I think those are probably nest predators too, right?
Oh, I'm sure.
They'll eat anything.
They got a great nose too.
Yeah. Rooting around the ground.
They're right across the road.
Yeah.
They're not over here yet.
Really?
Yeah.
It's more on Oklahoma side?
Well, Grandma's place right there.
Yeah.
Her whole backyard's just tilled.
Really?
Yes. Yeah. So
I've actually been. When do you get your trap back?
Well, they said, come trap them again.
Yeah.
Because, I've got a C-trap up there. I built a C-trap years ago. And first 2 days, I trapped pigs in it. It didn't take long.
Yeah.
But then I got Big Boy in there, and he just tore it all the heck. So I had to rebuild it. But yeah. So, I've kind of, Mom was like, hey, we need to try to take out some pigs. Like, okay. You do that, but they haven't been back.
Dump out some corn and we'll thermal them too. That'd be kind of fun. Haven't got to do that last year.
See, his thermal, he broke out his thermal, dude, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. I need 6 of these. This is awesome.
They're really cool. I said last year, well, not last deer season before last, I killed 18 hogs with it. And this year I had 2 early on when I first started pouring out, and then that was it. They disappeared.
So I didn't have any. No pigs this year.
Yeah, I'm not complaining.
No.
They're fun to shoot at, but man, it saved me a pallet of corn easily.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They lay there and eat till it's gone.
Yeah.
Buddy of mine, he got into the thermal game, and just last weekend he killed 12 coyotes.
Wow. Yeah, I can imagine, dude.
Yeah.
That would just give you a super advantage, it seems like to me.
For sure, yeah.
Yes.
You've probably all seen the pyramid, whatever, Facebook, TikTok, the mating pair of coyotes denning with pups will kill up to 19 fawns.
I had seen that, yeah. And it's like that.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had seen that.
I read something last night. It was like 43 up to 60% of fawn deaths are coyote related.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, and then another study they had on that Mississippi State deal was 17. They did a study in 2018, I think, and 17% of a coyote's diet was bird. Now, they didn't specify turkey or pheasant, and it was done in Georgia, so I don't know, but it's it was a bird. So, I mean,
I just seen a video, speaking of that, I just seen a video where a coyote attacks a decoy.
Mm-hmm.
That happened to me.
Really?
Yep. And I had the
turkey decoy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had the decoy out there, long, skinny food plot. And he come out at the end, and he's just all the way. I was like, "Keep going, buddy. Come on.
Yeah.
And he got up there, and I with the big one, and he ran off, but he didn't live. There's no way. But yeah, he was just fixing to pounce on it. I was like, "You ain't tearing up my decoy, man."
Yeah. I had a bobcat come in I was working a bird, and when there was birds on other side of the mountain over there in my place, and a bobcat creeped in from my right as I was purring. I guess he thought there was a hen in there, and she fixed to come and get it.
Crazy.
It saw me about the same time I saw it, and it bounced out, but it was definitely coming to the call.
I think a lot of guys want to do something to help the predator population, but a lot of guys don't do anything.
Yeah.
So it's like we need to kind of try to get motivated to get a lot of these predators under control.
Yeah, I know.
If
So
we can.
it's going to be up to us. And how many? What did you say? How many coyotes did you trap?
We was trapping on 86 acres for about 3 months. And this is just tell you how bad it is. We caught 30 coons, 16 possums, 14 coyotes. I called in and killed 4 more coyotes, 1 bobcat, 5 skunks.
Wow.
So that's on how many acres?
70 predators.
86
on 86 acres.
Yeah.
I'm not in big woods. This is mainly cow pasture.
Wow.
Yeah, and that's a small piece of the pie. I mean, 86 acres, even in Sebastian County.
Think about it in that terms. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, we need to probably, I don't know what to do. You got to figure out something. The coyote tournaments are great, but even try to motivate these guys to get in the trap, and me included, and I don't know nothing about it. So I'm fixing to get a lesson, I think.
Well, that's what I was thinking last night. I was like, man, I feel bad because I've had these traps sitting there, and Cole's running some of them.
Yeah.
But I could have put them on Sebastian County and be like, hey guys, any guys want to trap?
Yeah.
Use my stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not using it. I'm too busy right now to run traps every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
that's the thing, is like, I'm pretty fortunate. Like I'm usually home at a pretty decent time. So I mean, I'm right there. I got corridors I can drive to about every set I've got. So it's like, it'd be pretty easy.
I was lucky to have my nephew, and it was his senior year, and he actually did a project at school that he got an A for habitat restoration, depredation.
Yeah.
And because he did videos of all the traps, and he had the pictures of the coyotes in the traps and everything.
Cool. Yeah.
It was cool.
Nice.
Yeah. No, that's actually really cool.
And I was like, hey, I'm kind of tired of running them. I'm just going to set them off, give it a break. It's muddy out there anyway.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I'll just keep running them. He loved it.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that.
I got a guy that works for me that he tells a story that way. When he was a kid, he was ate up with, he don't trap now, but, he would wake up before school and go run all his traps. And
that was my cousins, both the Daggett boys.
That's what's
dude. They even trapped this place, back 30 years ago, I guess. Yeah, so they were big into it for a while.
Yeah, we got Michael Robles into it. He's got to be at work at 5.
Yeah.
He was getting up at 3 just so he could run his traps before he had to be at work at 5.
Yeah.
I was like,
I'll run mine in the afternoon.
Yeah, for sure.
Heck with that.
Yeah. I want to put some traps out here.
Well, I said, I know how to do the coon stuff now. We can, I don't know how to make the cables. May get a lesson on that.
I hook you up with cables.
Yeah, and set some off.
Sweet.
I think it'll definitely help. I mean, I'm even kind of, I didn't even really think about the coyote stuff until he mentioned it yesterday, having some traps. So maybe try out a couple of
Josh had mentioned he wanted me to trap over there. I was like, man, it's not convenient for me, but like I said, Josh won't care if you want to run them on him.
Yeah. I'm right there. Like I said, if I can golf cart up to him and check them, and it's quick and easy. And so maybe try it a couple of years, and then if it's something I'm really into, I'll just invest into it.
Y'all probably watch a lot of Grant Woods, which he's got the Proving Grounds 2.0 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think they trapped like 140 nest predators this year.
It's crazy. I just wonder, like, I don't know if, like I said, your place, those numbers are astounding, but it's like, if you can get more people on board doing that, we could possibly have a turkey population back again. Because what you said about 50 days of those things having to survive, that's almost impossible. You look at how many, the tournaments we go to, how many cows are getting killed, bobcats you get on camera, the hogs, the snakes, the skunks, all that stuff. Like, man, that's a lot. That's a lot of days on the ground to be pretty much defenseless.
Yep. Yeah. See, I'm sitting here thinking about it. I've got my property here, and then I'm surrounded by family.
Yeah.
And I would have access to all of that. So like 300 or 400 acres.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
How big of a difference you make on something like that? If you really got after
probably huge. Yeah. Your brother's places and all that.
Oh yeah. That's not even counting my brother's spots. Yeah. So
I was telling Chris yesterday, I think it was in Texas, and it was, coyotes like traveling roads. They're lazy like we are. They don't want to walk through the briars. If they can walk down the edge of a road silently and hunt.
Yeah.
Well, he set 8 traps on this intersection, big highways both ways, scat everywhere, and he had for like 5 coyotes the next morning.
Wow. That's cool.
Well, that's kind of like I was reading about the corridors. Like if you have corridors or high line wire and stuff like that, like you're trapping, your catch ratio goes way up rather than just setting them in big woods like that. So like my place is kind of set up for that actually. But I don't know. You had to teach me how to do the whole trap deal, because I know zero, never even watched the video on it.
I'm sure I'd catch dogs. That'd be my only big concern. And, again, if I didn't check them for 2 days, you know what I mean? The dog was out there the whole time. Yeah. And of course, if the Pomeranian got out and,
Yeah, that'd be bad.
Not really a dog. It's kind of a dog.
Set them far enough away, you'd probably be fine.
Yeah, they don't leave the yard for the most part. So.
And then, you could, like I was telling him, I was like, I thought about running cameras over all my coon sets we set up yesterday, but half of them have dead batteries, and I really don't want to go spend $100 on batteries.
Right. To go check it. Yeah.
Yeah.
You just get on the cart and check them.
But you could always do that if you have, a dog problem. You could run a cell cam over them. Like, oh, man.
True. Yeah, it's true.
There's a cell cam, run your cell cam over, you would know kind of what's going on with it. But
yeah, I just pulled all mine and pulled all the batteries, and I put them up so I can get year after year use out of them.
I always just let
let yours roll.
Keep on running. I pulled one the other day that was on a tree I cut down. It's in the golf cart. Other than that, they're all still out there running, but it's mostly just me driving by on the golf cart.
Yeah.
I do have still a bunch of doe action on the corridors at nighttime there.
Oh, I imagine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to keep coming.
Yeah. I think it's kind of funny too. Go back to the tree situation. We were riding out there yesterday, and I took him around that east corridor. We popped out there, and I looked up at the rye. It's getting probably 10 inches now in the open spot, and where the trees were, it's probably half that. So I think getting rid of those trees is definitely going to help.
Oh yeah, I mean at lower end for sure. I mean that was where you said 12 in there, right?
Yeah, 12.
Yeah, that's a lot of trees, man, if you think about it.
It was.
I had to look it up. I couldn't believe he did that with a 32cc chainsaw.
We talked about that.
Yeah.
We talked about that. That was funny.
Yeah, I had a chainsaw on the back, so I got this one, but I don't really want to cut those stumps out there. And he got, how big is your bar?
Mine's a 20-inch bar.
Yeah.
It's a 60cc saw, but if you know how to sharpen a chain, it works a lot better.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way. I always keep an extra chain at the house, and I'm sitting there hand filing. I found that. I showed you that steel deal with the tube deals on. I was like, you just about every 2 tanks of gas, just sharpen that thing up. But yeah, I pulled up there in a golf cart and I said, I just don't want to try to cut these stumps off. I cut the trees down. He's like, you cut it with that chainsaw? Yeah,
that's amazing.
Yeah.
You did some work, brother.
Yeah.
I cut down a tree out here when it was dead. I cut it down as oak. And, I don't want to stump either. So I was like, I'm going to go out there and cut that off at the ground.
That's the hardest part.
Dude, it whipped my tail.
Yeah, that's the hardest part.
My saw's pretty sharp.
Yeah. I've got a weed eater bigger than his chainsaw.
Yeah. Doing work, son. Well, like I said, I cut wood my whole entire life growing up. I mean, we had a wood burning stove in every place we had, and we cut wood year round because what we didn't burn, we sold for whatever, $20 a rick or something. And I was the chainsaw guy, the brush guy, the maul guy, splitting it. So I don't want to be into cutting trees a whole lot. So I'm going to keep my saw. So if somebody asks me, can you cut down the trees? Like, man, my saw's not big enough.
Yeah, look, this is what I got. That's all I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until they see the video of me chopping down those 50-inch diameter pine trees with it. But
it's funny. Well, man, thanks for coming in here, Dave.
Oh, I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
like I said, I watch all your posts and
cool, man.
Every one of them.
Appreciate it. Yeah, we
were talking.
We had fun with it, dude. It's a lot of fun.
And kind of running around there, and I got to the house and I put together a little video of us, setting out the traps and stuff. And I was like, we need to do right here around turkey season. We need to do one, And so I texted him, hey, short notice, can you be on the podcast tomorrow? Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's what I was telling Chris yesterday. I was like, say you go out there and you just catch 8 coons, maybe 4 of them females. They're all pregnant right now.
Yeah.
Nah.
They're going to give birth to 4 to 6 kittens.
Yeah.
In, end of May.
Oh, wow.
June.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I actually read that last night too. Yeah. They said that right now, you told me that and I read, and it's like they normally have, 4 to 6, 4 to 7. So you catch a 1 female, you're getting rid of 8 potential nest predators.
I need to hit the co-op, sounds like, and get it done.
Yeah.
I'm sure Fort Smith would have some. They got to use a bigger selection.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Fort Smith co-op. Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I was asking him about is like, I grabbed the first one and it's like, I was trying to had it on my office desk. I'm like, I want to kind of just see how tough this is to set. I'm like, gosh dang, man, it's pretty difficult. It's pretty hard to spray them. You can easily do it, but I started watching videos and they got this little tool you get in there and just like click it over and set your deal on there. And it's like, I called Jim. I was like, hey, you got the tool for this thing? What tool? I never sold no tool. I'm like, I guess I'm a sissy. I kind of want the tool. But anyway, I found one on Amazon for like $6. So I think I'm going to probably get the tool. If I really start catching them, I have to set them over and over and over again. Like, I think it'll be a lot faster. But
well, I'm interested to see how your place does because I know how it's set up.
I'm going to go check them here when we get down on this. I didn't check them this morning. So I got up and took a shower, just sat around, drank coffee, and I hadn't went out and checked them yet. So I'm going to run them here.
Cool.
Get back. And I guess I need to find one of my little 22 rifles or something. I don't know what.
Get your Gammo out.
Gammo, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep.
Easiest way if I can find pellets, all that stuff's in a whole different area. So I thought about that this morning. I even got one of my dad's old revolver 22 pistols. I got when he passed away. So I might break out the old revolver.
Don't shoot a pig with a 20 gauge.
20 gauge?
It makes them mad.
Yeah.
I did that.
Dude, I've shot them with in traps with a Glock 45 hollow point, and they ran the gate 9 more times before they died. I'm like, what? And in the brain.
Yep. I stuck a barrel, dude. I had a single shot. Stuck a barrel through the pin. Big pig too. Yeah. Boom. Yeah. And he just kind of went and just stood there, and like half his face is gone. He's still alive.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm like, wow, these things are nuts.
Yeah. Man. They're tough. I got plenty of stories of some weird stuff like that. Well, Jim, thanks for coming on, man. I look forward to working with you more on this trapping stuff and learning more about it. I hope we can get some coons and some even some coyotes trapped, and maybe we move over to Cody's place after that. And we'll have to invest in some coyote traps. I'd like to try some of yours. And
I got plenty. You're more than welcome to them.
Sweet, man. Sounds good to me.
We can get them running and maybe help out. And guys, if you're listening to this, look into it, and try to help out the turkey population, the deer population for fawns and all that stuff. So
yeah, we all chase deer. We might as well try to get some of these predators out of here too.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when you really do a deep dive into the numbers and how much, the nest predators and the actual predators actually damage the deer and turkey population.
Yeah, if you're going to invest the time and the money, for plots and all this land management we do, we have to do the predator side.
Yeah,
too.
The next side of land management is trapping, and that's kind of what I decided, and that's why I contacted him, and here we are. So
good to have you, man. Like the information.
Yeah.
You bet.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me on.